you prepare to meet the challenges of life without fear? Greed and jealousy, hatred and envy, man, you have to move with care in that jungle out there. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. How you move when you're moving. Which direction you going. You got to be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
Whatever you do, there is a need to be careful. 3 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Carriacou. Petey Martinique too. How you doing, folks? Trust that every one of you having a fine time this good-looking Thursday morning inside a beautiful Spice country. What a pleasure it is to be among the living. Good morning to you, JD. Let us pray.
Good morning, Mr. Donald, and to all the listeners. Jehovah Rapha, the Lord, our healer. Exodus chapter 15, verse 26. He said, if you will diligently listen to Yahweh your God's voice, and will that which is right in his eyes, and pay attention to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I'll put none of the diseases on you which I put on the Egyptians, for I am Yahweh, who heals you. Psalm 103, verse 2 to 3. Praise Yahweh, my soul, and don't forget his benefits, who forgives all your sins, who heals your disease. Psalm 107:20. He sends his words, and he heals them, and delivers them from their graves. Psalm 147:3. He heals the broken in heart, and binds up the wounds. Part of God's nature and will is to identify himself as a healer. Healing is part of God's character. All through the scripture, there are accounts of miraculous healing in the Old Testament. God heals people of various illness, both directly and through prophets. In the New Testament, Jesus himself restores sight to the blind, enables the lame to walk, and even raise people from the dead. And to this day, God is still performing mighty works of healing in the lives of people everywhere. Healing is an integral part of who God is. This provides us with a picture of God's ability to cure not only the body, but also the soul. When sin entered the world, so did sickness. Sickness is what happens when our bodies deviate from God's original intention. This physical imperfection can also scare us as a reminder of our spiritual imperfection. God, being holy, cannot stand imperfection. When he is present, perfection, purity, and holiness will always prevail. And so he heals our physical bodies to show us his divine ability to heal our broken souls. It is worth recognizing that God heals not only physical wounds, but also emotional ones. In Psalm 147, verse 3, David says, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Some of us have scars that are invisible. Some of us have suffered childhood trauma. Some of us has been abused. Some of us have lived with mental illness for many years. God is healer over these wounds too. It might not be instantaneous, but over time. God is able and more than able to destroy the darkness inside of us and replace it with world of living light, of warm living light. We can be comforted by God's compassion and love towards us. He does not delight in in seeing his people suffer. It grieves him just as it grieves us when we go through deep waters of pain and anguish. His great love is why he identifies himself as the ultimate healer of both body and soul. Whenever we find ourselves in pain, whether from physical, emotional, or spiritual wounds, we can look to Jehovah Rapha, the Lord our healer. Almighty God, ruler of all creation and source of all life and health, we beseech our great physician Jesus Christ to sustain everyone with your presence and healing grace, to drive away all sickness of body and spirit. We pray that you will give us the victory of life and peace. Sustain us, strengthen us. And we thank you for your word, your promise that you are the God that healeth. Your word will not return void, but it will accomplish the purpose for that which it is sent. Your word in the name of Jesus is more powerful than cancer, heart disease, and any other disease that we can think of. Give us the will to put your name on our lips and to let healing come to us. Move us by the Holy Spirit to healing and renewal of faith and the power of faith in the holy name of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen.
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 Good morning. How are you doing?
Excellent.
There's my twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my shadow. Hey, what's up, girl?
Okay.
What kind of umbrella hairstyle you
No.
have? You tired this morning or something? Umbrella hairstyle. You don't want the people to see your umbrella hairstyle.
Whatever, no.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what's up?
I'm okay.
Good. Usually you dump me on Thursdays, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think everybody knows that by now.
Yeah, Thursdays. I have a guest this morning though.
Yeah,
What time is it?
for 7:25.
7:35.
Yeah.
Okay. We finish all that. So that'll be for like about half an hour, and then we have who's my guest this morning? Let me do some check the party there.
Guess who?
Where's Booker Girl? Guess who's coming to dinner? Yes.
Guess who?
Senior Agricultural Officer Lorraine St. Louis. She's from Grand Anse. I spoke to her before. She has relatives up here. Rosie. You know Rosie? Alicia, Fabian.
Yeah.
You're right. Rosie. Rosie's her cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, I think her dad, I believe, is Rosie's uncle. Yeah. That's Lorraine.
Who has
St.
she
Louis.
replaced?
Say again?
Who has she replaced?
Who's that, Lorraine?
Yeah.
She's been working there for a while, you know. She's been working. I don't know who she's replaced, but she's been working there. The interview I would have done with her would have been a long time ago, even before we got here. I did the interview with her, so she's there. So she's a junior. No, she's a senior agricultural officer. But we'll be speaking to her this morning on your favorite crop, JD.
Yeah, what's my favorite?
Soursop.
Soursop is not my
Yeah.
favorite crop.
Yeah, because I think I have some questions for her, some serious questions for her in relation to soursop. So
Soursop is not my favorite crop.
Oh, it's not your favorite crop? Okay, I thought it was.
No.
What, ganja?
Marijuana.
I was promoting the ganja.
How you mean? How the ganja will get sale? If you don't promote the ganja wouldn't get sale, you know. Oh, did you find your area nice and cool this morning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yesterday evening after round about 11.
After 11?
About 11.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, they peak hours.
Boom.
But I was way before because
Okay.
everybody knows that I ain't have blood in my body. So while everybody was cool, I was cold.
Cold. Okay.
But when it around about after 11, they start to shake up themselves.
Oh. Well, all you have to do in situations like that, because I run it on 20. All right, so you just have to bring it up to about 24.
I imagine the kitchen was open and the recording room was open.
Yeah.
And it still was at peak.
That peak, yeah. We have to get some dark curtains now
Yeah.
to do the windows.
Yeah.
Once you do dark curtains in the windows, then everything will be okay. Then I can't have any complaints, and then I'll be demanding more.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone Disinfectant Cleaner is the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness, keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Kaneko, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody! Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
Green's Concept introduces the latest innovation in air conditioning technology in Grenada, providing the most energy efficient, environmentally friendly air conditioning units in Grenada. Using a natural refrigerant, all air conditioning unit systems are up to 40% more energy efficient than the current units used in the Grenadian market. Powerful cooling while using less electricity and very inexpensive. That means more money in your pocket. We offer free delivery to all locations of installation and installed by top quality trained professional engineers with over 20 years experience in the business. Contact Green's Concept 417-5460 or 442-1663. Email greensconcept@gmail.com. At Green's Concept, we cool you and the planet.
Green's Concepts announces special prices on 18,000 and 24,000 BTU units. You have been saving on power, now save on prices. Call us today.
To our frontline workers, you matter. We value you. You have kept Grenada safe, and we tried our best to protect you with the tools we had: personal protective equipment, testing, and information. Today we can go further. We now offer you the COVID vaccine. It's our way of saying we appreciate you, we need you, and our goal is to preserve your life. So get vaxxed. It's your best shot. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Did you know that the offshore islands in the Grenadines are globally important for their number and diversity of seabirds? Seabirds are important for showing if our oceans are healthy and help fisherfolk to find fish, understand weather, and navigate. Unfortunately, seabirds in the region are rapidly disappearing. There are simple things that you can do to help ensure that these birds are found in the Grenadines for generations to come. 1. Don't eat seabirds or their eggs. 2. Properly dispose of litter so birds are not tangled in it or mistake it for food. 3. Avoid disturbing birds that are resting or nesting. And 4. Do not set fires in seabird nesting areas, as they harm wildlife, destroy habitat, and cause erosion, smothering nearby reefs.
Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk?
floating along. 17 Jumpsticks. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
All right, tell us.
Good morning to you, good morning to Nabila, good morning to the nation. I'm reading from the Word of God, Psalm 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say unto the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. This is the end of the scripture reading.
Thank you so much. And how are you today, my dear?
I'm good, I'm good.
All right, well, I want you to have the best day possible.
Yes, same to you. JD, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Riel.
Have a nice day.
You too, be blessed.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hey, put on your sexy voice, huh? But, no.
I don't know that.
You know what?
No, I don't know.
Today's your last Thursday.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, today's your last Thursday.
Very, very well, thank you.
I don't understand it. All my people and them, you want to be more friendly with my people than me. I don't know. I can't allow that. I can't allow
very
that
well, thank you. So today is my last Thursday.
Thursday.
The listeners would have heard that today is my last Thursday. So.
I mean, it's the last Thursday of trouble her.
Oh.
That's what I mean. You didn't know that. Oh, man, you must ask. Since morning I tell you, ask me what I mean.
No.
Since morning I tell you, early I tell you that.
I said today is my last Thursday.
Right, so ask me what I mean.
You didn't continue your statement.
No, I didn't continue.
I remember there was a joke where this guy was doing a painting, and he says, "He damn the queen," you know.
Damn the queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I think the queen was visiting that place. He damn the queen. So when the police said, "Well, no, you can't do that," they pick him up and he says, "Well, yeah. When I was doing this sign, it was dark. I couldn't see. So I had to come back. What I meant to put was damn the queen enemies."
So you didn't have to write the word
enemy.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Smart guy. Oh, the guy was buried yesterday. You know that, right?
Which guy? Which one? I don't know.
Philip.
Who's Philip?
Philip.
Who's Philip?
Elizabeth's husband.
Oh, yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they had a ceremony sometime? Was it Saturday? Yeah, I thought he was.
Nah, I think yesterday was the funeral.
No, man, Saturday. I believe it was Saturday. Saturday or Friday, sometime last week, man.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
They brought it.
I thought it was yesterday.
No. They brought it. I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw not yesterday. Okay. But there seems to be a lot of row with his grandson. But I didn't really follow it up.
This killing of people in America getting really kind of stupid now. Yeah. There's a black man in I think it's North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina, who was killed. There's a 16-year-old who was pointing a knife at her. Some people shot and killed. They're getting on, man.
Yeah, there must be a reason. What's the reason?
I don't know.
What's the reason for that?
I don't believe this.
Goodbye. Well, he knew that I had to want to leave early today, so.
No. And we have we're gonna do the weather now in a couple of ticks, but we have thing today. We have I'm happy he's here. He probably has some questions for the person for St. Louis. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the world. Friends, you wouldn't believe it. We've been graced early by this gentleman. Yeah! BJ is here. Good morning, BJ. How you doing?
Morning, Andrew. Morning to the listening public. Morning to JD. I'm doing fine. Just warm and easy as always.
How did you do this? Early like that this morning,
Andrew, for the last 3 consecutive weeks, I don't know if you remember, you were saying that, BJ, I am tired. And I guess you're tired of hearing the same thing over and over.
No, I'm tired. Sometimes I need a break,
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Hence the reason why I came in early this morning.
You come to take over?
No, just heard him shouting that he's tired. And when you start to get tired doing those kind of things, then I have to pinch myself.
Sometimes, okay, like for instance, me, I just, most of the times I need just about a week break from it, revitalize my thoughts and hit out again. From 2020 to now, but ending in 2019, yeah. Well, 2020 to now, never really had a break like that. So just but I did go to Kaneko, but I was work again anyway.
But I must say, when you do take a break, Andre, I have seen you take a little break now and then, and we begin to miss you. I don't think you know how much you does be missed. So people who doesn't know that tend to always want to take break. I don't think you deserve any break. I think the life you're living, you probably need to reorganize it, and you'll probably find more time for doing whatever you want to take the break to do. But believe you me, you don't really need a break.
Thank you, BJ. Thank you very much.
It was the
Thank you. Let me go and get the weather.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful. How you move when you're moving. Which direction you're going. You got to be careful.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the world. Time now has moved on to 24 minutes, and that's after the 7 o'clock hour. Andre Charles from the Met Office is on the line. Good morning, Dre.
Good morning to you and to listeners of Real FM. And here's weather for today, Thursday the 22nd April 2021. Currently at Point Saline, the weather is partly cloudy. Winds are from the east at 16 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1015.2 millibars. That's above normal and rising. Present temperature 27.5 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 77%. Yesterday's maximum temperature 30.4 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum 25.6 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, only a trace of rainfall was recorded. Hence, the total for the month remains at 1.9 millimeters. Now to have a look at the forecast, value for today and tonight. We expect some generally fair and windy conditions with brief occasional showers. Maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Sea slight to moderate, waves up to 5 feet in open waters. Tide to be high at 10:30 a.m. and low at 6 p.m. Sunset today at 6:20, rises tomorrow at 5:52. Just a repeat of the forecast, value for today and tonight. Fair and windy with brief occasional showers. Maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius. I'm Andre Charles, reporting for the Met Office. Thank you.
Thank you, Dre. Have a great day, bro.
Thanks, man. Same to you.
All right, good. Bye-bye. Real 91. What's your problem?
I'm trying to figure out where my hands where my hands are.
Oh, where you are?
Yeah.
You need to go this way if you want to be off. Or if you want to be on, yeah, stand up close to BJ.
Do you see the resemblance?
Say again?
Do you see the resemblance?
No.
Oh, what a pity.
Crazy. All right. So you've done the weather. And JD, I know you usually have your thingies, your white paper with your stuff.
I don't have no plant.
What?
You're not. There's no plant in this
for now?
For today, yeah. For the month, actually,
You didn't get it?
No, they don't have any more dates. What I gave last equal the last for the month until next month.
Okay. So does that mean, okay, question here now. Does that mean that what you gave last week can work for this week, you think?
No, the dates that I gave, there were only 2 days in the month of April.
Mm-hmm.
That has since gone. It was above the ground, the 18th and the 19th.
Oh, so and it wouldn't work for now?
Well, it depends. Well, if people want to, they do. For me, if I do it, I will plant seeds, vegetables that have the seeds inside, that produces seeds inside, like corn, tomatoes, peppers.
Peas?
Peas, yeah, that produce the seeds inside. Cucumbers, yeah, I will plant this time of the year, of the month, sorry.
Here's a question for either of you. We plant cabbages and lettuce all the time. Where do these seeds come from?
They make seeds, Andre.
They make, yeah.
So, cabbage and lettuce was not in the Garden of Eden.
They produce seeds.
They produce seeds?
Who? The cabbage and lettuce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are the seeds? I ain't never seen those seeds.
You have to go in the breeding station to get it, Andre.
Yeah.
Lettuce all the time
is
and collect the seeds?
Yeah, lettuce is easy. Cabbage, I can't remember seeing cabbage, but lettuce is, if you let lettuce grow outgrow its time, it produces seeds.
The seeds aren't manufactured. The plants produce the seeds.
Yeah.
Cabbage? I ain't never seen a cabbage seed, but a cabbage with seeds.
You don't see Brussels and all those things and then produce seeds.
What about carrots?
Yeah, carrots now. Where carrots produce seeds? Yeah, tell me.
There are species that produce seeds.
Oh, please. Man, that and them was not in the Garden of Eden. Man make that.
Man makes the seeds.
Man make that.
How did the man if man made it, they got knowledge from somewhere to make the seeds, to produce the seeds.
I ain't say they ain't get knowledge, but I'm saying that, hey,
there are breeding stations where people just breed plants to produce seeds.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Donner, and good morning to the gentlemen then there.
Good morning,
I just say
Tommy.
good morning to everybody.
Morning, Gary.
Nice to hear you, Kami.
How you name Oli so today?
I don't know. Ask him how you already said today.
Every time I come in later, Miss Kami. And I hear Kami speaking and I want to just hear Kami for real today. I just want to hear in my ears. That's why I come early.
Yeah. Have a good day, everybody.
Take care.
Bye. Yeah.
Teresa,
Hey,
I love you.
I love you too.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right.
Don't know.
Okay, Teresa.
Bye-bye.
Bye. My good girl, Teresa.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Carrots.
Yeah, where do carrots get their seeds?
They are bred for that.
Generally, brethren, only the plants that are genetically modified.
Carrots.
That generally have difficulty producing seeds.
Yeah, they
but
do.
those that exist in the natural form produce seeds.
They produce, yeah, they do. They might crossbreed some of them sometimes.
Right, and then you have difficulty, right.
Like
say a donkey and a mule. A donkey and a horse give you a mule?
Yeah, donkey and a horse.
And then the mule have trouble
Which one has to be the female?
The mule, really?
No, which one has to be the female?
The horse has to be the female or something like that? The donkey?
Donkey.
Oh, there I didn't know.
Yeah, the donkey has to be the female. Otherwise, because you see the horse is too tall for the donkey to be the male and jump the horse.
Okay.
Can't. Yeah, so the horse has to be the male, donkey the female.
And then generally mule don't produce young ones?
No.
Exactly.
But their characteristic is what?
What, half?
What is a mule famous for?
Strength.
Mm-hmm. You're strong as a mule. That means you're really strong.
There was this, this joke. Not a joke. They say it was real. A cow went down in a ditch, and then this guy brought his one mule, and to pull out the car. But he made the mule believe that there was more than one mule pulling out the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So he called it all kind of name, all different name, but they were not existing. So that making the mule believe, well, I have help. And then he called in the name of the only mule that was there. He said, pull now. And the mule just pull out the car.
Pull out the car.
Yeah.
As strong as a mule. We have had, and thank you going to both of you, BJ, JD, and Mina, for the advice last week in relation to the neem oil for bathway. Remember he was having the problems with the millibug?
Oh, okay, then.
And the neem oil, it worked.
No,
yeah, Nimal will work. Nimal is great.
It worked. It worked. So he's a happy camper this morning. Thank you, Bartha Atlanta.
And matter of fact, if you could soak like the neem leaves, you could soak the neem leaves and spray the plant just as well.
You can. Oh, you mean soak?
Do
you need to crush it?
No, you could put it through the blender first. You blend it,
and
then you leave it to soak for maybe 2 days, and then you apply it to the plants.
And that will work.
That will work. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the seed they use to make the oil, the neem seeds.
Yeah, I seem like we just focusing on seeds this morning.
Well, just since we're on this, just want to interject here that the people who do tree crops, they seems to think that you plant the tree, you collect it from the propagating station, or you buy the plant somewhere, you put it into the ground, and you forget it.
Yeah, that's not...
Actually, that's not the way you do tree crops. You need to nurture the tree.
Exactly so. Take care of it like a baby.
Like prune and fertilize and irrigate and spray, and so you can get a healthy tree. And a healthy tree is what will resist disease.
Yeah, once the tree is healthy, you have less. Even in vegetables too. Once your garden is cleaned and everything is, you have less disease. Because, for instance, if you look when lions and so attack their prey, they don't look for the strong animal to attack. They look for probably the weakest one in the pack.
One's lagging behind.
Behind, and and then they.
Virgin, you don't have to go far. You just have to look at COVID.
And what does that mean?
Yeah, look for the people who are susceptible and kill them.
Okay. Here's something. Can you ask BJ and JD their plans as farmers, given the recent occurrences in St. Vincent and the effects of the La Soufrière volcano, given the impact that it has had on food security in the Southern Caribbean? Is there any specific directive or decisions that you guys are taking?
I listened to the news last night, and after the news, there was some little chat going on with the Minister of Agriculture and the Senator for Agriculture, and you had I think the Minister in St. Vincent, the Minister of Agriculture, and some other farmer and whatnot. And Andre, let me tell you something. If you sort of say you have milk on the stove and it boil up and it fall on the stove, use it as an opportunity to clean the whole kitchen rather than just the stove. The point I'm making is that when you have little, disaster like what we have in St. Vincent, this is wake-up call for us in the Caribbean, especially because we're very vulnerable to natural disasters. We need to come together as a people, CARICOM, OECS, and basically have a regional plan. We shouldn't be scrambling here, there, everywhere to see how we can, get things in order after the things already happened. Generally, it's a little too late. We should have a plan beforehand so we know when this happens, how the execution going to be, following with regard to assisting and taking care of our people. We are neighbors, we depend on each other. And here we are now. St. Vincent have a natural disaster, and you have people jumping up left, right, and center and saying, how are you going to take advantage of that? How are you going to do this? Like if you go and plant crops now, as they're going to be ready for tomorrow, next week, or the week after. But in a lot of cases, you have to wait 3 to 6 months,
Exactly so. And probably more.
And in a lot of cases, more.
Yeah.
And remember, you have to go put the infrastructure in place in order to do it. So it takes you even more time. Brethren, we need to have a plan.
Yeah.
My brother, in my own way, I would have said exactly the same thing to myself. We are not ready. Dominica is not ready.
Nope.
St. Lucia is not ready. Barbados is not ready. Grenada is not ready. And these are the 4 islands. These are the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 islands that they're close, really close to each other here. So, and when I think about the whole situation, we've been caught with our pants down. And I like the analogy you used that we need to use the opportunity to clean the entire kitchen. The milk fall, let's clean the kitchen. Let us start from famous word, ground zero. The ministers for agriculture in these states, in St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, Barbados, as I said, because they're pretty close, the ministers for agriculture need to sit down together and come up with a master plan, as you said, BJ. But I'm not seeing that.
Well, Andre, they meet all the time.
And for some people will say to me, okay, well, we'll find the agricultural senator. Come on, BJ, I keep telling you, that's always a time.
Andre doesn't want to go there.
Yeah, well, how you could not want to go there, BJ?
You see, Andre, you need to give people time, and you need to be a little tolerant with regard to, how you deal with people, because in a lot of cases, I know sometimes we have bad individual, but we have a system that needs to be rearranged.
Somebody's asking a question here, BJ. Does this speak to the need for agricultural insurance in CARICOM? I'm not even saying that, because you cannot do so and look at agricultural insurance when the man them don't plant no crops.
Andre, let me give you an experience with insurance, agricultural insurance. Used to sell bananas to marketing board, and compulsory, mandatory, they would deduct insurance fees from the sale of bananas, so we can pay wind crop.
Okay, I remember wind crop. Yeah, I remember that.
I sold bananas for maybe 3 or 4 years. Then we had some strong breeze or something to that extent. All right? And I would have lost 700 trees. The extension officers came and checked it out. Marketing board personnel came and checked it out. I lost 700 trees. That's about an acre. 750 trees equal to an acre. That's about the quantity you plant in an acre. So I lost about an acre. When they do an assessment of my field, they said, BJ, in order for you to claim and get insurance compensation, you probably would have to last about 5 acres.
What?
Yes, Andre. Those insurance are all thief.
So after you would have paid insurance?
After I would have paid insurance for 5 years, Andre, I would have lost only 750. That's about an acre.
An acre.
All right? I would have put in a claim for it. I would have been selling bananas every week. So you have an assessment done, and you can basically evaluate as to the loss. You can calculate it. And they said, BG, based on the size of your farm, if you lost, it's like, you bounce a vehicle, and how they call this thing again?
In the excess.
In the excess, right? You need to pay the right.
You pay the excess in order for you to get your
that
thing.
don't even compensate the excess. An acre don't even compensate the excess. And these guys in them are old thief. Insurance, basically, generally, are old thief. Check any one of them. You're going to see what they're doing.
But Robert White is going to be here on Tuesday.
Robert White no better than that. That's his work.
Robert White is gonna be here on Tuesday.
I listen to him all the time.
Yeah, I know.
All the time, and Robert told me very from God knowing. But Andre insurance are old thief. I don't say farmers shouldn't get involved. You understand what I'm saying?
You're not saying no.
I'm not saying
but
no.
But you don't trust them.
Well, they do good. So you can trust things that are good.
There were many. They tried many times. The last one I think I heard was Syric, I think it was, and if the wind blew too heavy, he was going to get, compensation. But I don't, this thing, man.
We have Miss St. Louis online, so we're going to go to her and talk. We're going to be talking sauce up this morning, BJ, which I think is a pretty good topic. But I want to say this to you. I was looking at something on YouTube the other day in relation to bananas. I don't remember which country it was, but it could have been, I think, one of the South American countries. And BJ, when I see what is happening, I will say to us here in Grenada, plant bananas for your needs.
You can't compete.
Your needs and your needs only.
Your domestic needs.
Yeah.
Satisfy your domestic needs.
Satisfy your domestic needs in relation to bananas and forget it. When I look at the mechanization,
and those
these pulleys kind of thing that go going through. So the thing, it stops here, the tree, they cut.
The man,
they cut there.
And I don't know if it's
they have cables and
they ain't doing that. They cut and it's hooked on there
and
it runs.
Sometimes for miles.
All the way back into the
packing house.
The packing house.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Nobody have to carry it so you don't bruise.
No, but when they cut it first, they use a lot of padding. The man goes right below the banana tree, and if somebody cuts it for him, it rests on the padding, and he comes right to the pulley, and he picks it up.
But that one, they put padding between the hands before they cut. Yeah. And then this pulley thing comes along, they cut and it takes it, they cut the next one, it takes it and they go. As a matter of fact, the person who is cutting, riding on a seat.
Yes.
He's seated and riding to go to the next tree.
And not just that, Andre. If you notice, when they're harvesting an area row, because they're planted in rows, generally all the bananas on that rows are good.
Are good?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, hey, forget this. I was, years ago, and even before I saw this, which is recently, I was saying to myself, this Chiquita and Dole thing, but these people knew exactly what they were doing. Come on, Chiquita and Dole had to take us over. This kind of cutting, wait, that thing is not going to work.
Andrew, there is something they call comparative advantage.
Yeah. Let's go to Miss St. Louis and stop keeping the young lady waiting. Good morning, Miss St. Louis. How are you doing? Hello? Good morning.
Good morning, Andre. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you, my dear?
I'm very good, thank you.
Nice to hear you. It would have been a long time ago I spoke to you. How long ago was that?
Yeah, that was quite some time last year.
Was it last year?
Probably around this time last year.
Yeah, it could have been. It was a long time ago. But I have not seen you in St. Patrick's. You haven't come and visit your cousin? What's that?
I have been in St. Patrick's many times. You just have not seen me.
Oh, so that means I'm last on the scale. That's okay. I can handle that. I could take it. I could take that.
Next time I come up, I'll certainly let you know that I'm there. So
I didn't see Joey this morning. I usually see him every morning. I didn't see him this morning.
Okay.
All right. But we're here to talk sauce up. With me, I have my two co-hosts. JD and BJ. Yeah, we go by initials. So they're here with me as per.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mr.
All right. Morning. So we're here to speak about sauce up this morning. So my first question to you is, what's going on with the sauce up? What's happening with the sauce up? Anything interesting? Anything new with the sauce up?
Not anything new, but it's interesting in the event that we are exporting. We have expanded markets. So in that way, the production is up. We did have a little bit of a dip from last year, and I guess that was due to the problems with export and getting things out of Grenada. But for now, we are the sector is up and running. We have been exporting, and we're trying to expand the market even further. Lots of people are getting into the market. We're now working, Ministry of Agriculture is now working with MNIB to again begin exporting. So it's exciting in the sense that the market is stable and growing, not having any downward path. So it's in that way, it's an exciting time for the soursop industry.
Well, that's good to know, but one can say that there may be some challenges. Care to tell us what the challenges are, and what is the ministry doing so as to overcome those?
Well, the challenges are what the challenges would be for agriculture on a whole. In terms of production, there are always challenges in terms of the pest and disease management, in terms of getting your production up to the level that you would like to have it at. Then we have other things where, Prader larceny, of course, is one of the big challenges in agriculture generally, and not just in the soursop industry. We also have challenges now with the exportation because of the difficulties, as I mentioned before, with getting the product out of Grenada. So that is one of the areas. Those are some of the areas that we have the challenges in. In terms of the challenges due to on the production side, we have a program that we're about to start. We've been doing it on I don't want to say haphazard, but in little pockets. But now we have a program that we're about to start where we're working with certain farmers and having almost like a farmer field school, where you would bring other farmers to one farmer's field and show the different cultural and practices for the soursop, and show all the different things, how to plant, how to take care of the plant while it's growing. We will go to hand pollination, and then to harvest and post-harvest handling. So that will be something that we'll be starting soon. And so that on that side, that's what the ministry is planning to do in terms of that. We also support on the production side. We support in terms of the heavily subsidized planting material that we produce every year. Farmers apply for the different for the amounts that they want, and we try as much as possible to provide healthy planting material for the farmers for their production. And then for in terms of Prader larceny, we are working. The ministry has part of its program because we have the amended Prader larceny Act, which speaks directly to soursop and how it is supposed to be treated in terms of, as it relates to Prader larceny. So we're putting that mechanism in place right now. And of course, we've spoken and had meetings with the police commissioner and some of his other officers in terms of the support that the police will have to, how they will have to assist in that in getting that venture going, because as we know, Prader larceny is one of the things that is really plaguing the farmers and plaguing our agricultural sector as a whole. But it is something that it is not just the ministry's responsibility. It's something that we will have to all look at as a community and ensure that everybody's playing their role, from the farmers to help watch their farms and other farmers' farms, to the vendors to ensure that they only purchase from farmers and they're not purchasing from the people who are stealing, because that is one of the big things. If they don't have a market, then they won't, it won't be so lucrative to go and try to do that. And of course, to the ministry and the police department. So those are the major challenges, and what it is we're attempting to do to assist and to get over those challenges at this time.
I wouldn't beat up on you in relation to Prader larceny. I'll wait for the politicians. You are a public servant like that. I'll wait for the politicians to deal with them in relation to pretty larceny because there's so much I want to say about that. So and you being St. Patrick's based, I'm not gonna do that to you. So I'm gonna leave out pretty larceny, but take us through some of the statistics that you may have in relation to the entire island. What's the acreage we're looking at that is under sauce-up cultivation? Do we have farmers who are, say, registered sauce-up producers? And give us some numbers in relation to your export from 2020 until now.
But in terms of the acreage, when we did the last agricultural census, and that was in 2012, we had a total of 138 acres. That's what the survey showed.
100?
That is equivalent to 26,800, about 26,000 trees. In the years in between then and now, we have probably about 300 acres actually planted. Every year, how because we have not had another census, how we estimate it is by the number of trees that have been produced and bought from the Mirabo station and the other stations, and we estimate the plants per acre. So we have an estimated between 290 and 300 acres of soursop, and it is something that is constantly growing. Every year we have over the amount of applications than we would have planned for. So it's a growing industry. So we have that is about 300 acres we have planted currently. In terms of the farmers, we don't register farmers. We have not. As we come into the enforcement of the Prairie Larceny Act, the amended act, we are going to specify what the farmers are. Normally what we do is that you're a registered farmer, but for soursop farmers, we are now going to give them a special ID. So they will be, a special group. However, we have about 3,000 farmers who have soursop trees, and they produce soursop. It's not necessarily big. We don't have 3,000 big farmers or 3,000 farmers with 5 or more acres, but that's what we have according to how they class them. That is how much farmers we have on the books that are producing soursop. And what I'd like to say about that though is that even though we have those 3,000 farmers who have soursop trees on their field and they sell, the main production comes from between 200 to 500 farmers. So that is the real base of the soursop production. The other question you asked was in terms of the export for 2020 and 2021. We don't have the numbers yet for 2020. And of course, 2021 is still going on, so we don't have numbers for that. But we know that the numbers would have significantly dropped in 2020. And that was, as I said before, due to the fact that many farmers, even though they had soursop on hand, there were quite a bit of challenges in getting the soursop off the island because the other airline carriers were not flying, and Amerijet was the only one that was flying, and then there were some challenges with that getting the soursop off the island. So for last year, I know that the numbers would have significantly decreased. But just to give you an idea of how the industry has grown, in 2013 we exported, and I'm telling you in terms of money, not in terms of pounds, but the 2013 exports were $407,000 US. By 2019, it was $3,825,000 US. So that is just to show you the exponential growth that is happening within the soursop industry. So we only think that it's going to, as a ministry, we think that it's going to only grow. That industry would only grow as we look towards other markets. If you speak to most exporters, they will tell you that they never have too much soursop. They can always sell more. The issues now would be to get the transportation so that they can get it out. That is going to be really part of the issue, and to ensure that what we sell is of the quality that the market needs, so that we do not lose that market, because we get premium prices, and just because it's Grenada soursop, we get premium prices for it, and therefore we really need to protect that industry and ensure that what we put out there on the market is of the highest quality.
Yeah, my question is hand pollination. How will you go about doing that? In cases where you have the tall trees and so how that will be done?
In cases with the tall trees?
Yeah.
Well, let me answer something before that. When we what we encourage farmers to do is to prune their trees. We have a certain way of pruning the trees that would encourage more fruiting, more flowering, more fruiting, and it will also make harvesting easier, so that we don't have those very, very tall trees. As it stands now, to do hand pollination for a very tall tree, you would either have to climb up into the tree, or that would be how you have to do it. There's no other way to get up into the tree. But what we're encouraging is that the farmers prune their trees, ensure that they plant at the right density, at the right spacing, so that when you prune your trees and their branches spread, then you can harvest very much closer to the ground, and you can do all those other things like the hand pollination will be much easier for you to accomplish with a shorter tree. For right now, you just have to either climb up into the tree, or you hand pollinate the ones that are closest to you, or the ones that you can easily reach. That would have to be how that would have to be done at this point.
Why are you encouraging hand pollination? What's the benefits of that?
When you have insects pollinating the soursop, the pollination is not necessarily done uniformly. If you think about a soursop fruit, you would realize that it's a lot of little fruits put together, right? Because each little pocket with a seed is a fruit. So it's a combined fruit. It's a fruit that is a lot of little fruits and make up that whole big fruit together. So if you think about it, each one of those seeds is the pollen is a result of pollination. So when you have insects such as ants or bees or different insects pollinating, how they walk and they move and they touch the parts of the plant, then that is where the fruit would form, and how the fruit would form. To get uniformly formed fruits, if you are hand pollinating, you would take a brush and you would dip it in the pollen, and then you would dip it on the female parts of the plants, and move it all around, so that you ensure a more uniform pollination.
Where do you get the pollen from? That's the big question.
You get the pollen. The plants, the trees make their own pollen.
Yes, but
so
you'll have to harvest the pollen.
I'm not hearing you.
I said, would that mean that you'll have to harvest the pollen and then go hand pollinate?
Right.
Okay.
Right, and one of the issues with soursop is that the male part of the flower is normally mature before the female part of the flower. So that is another one of the issues why pollination is a little bit tricky. So what we would do is the day before, in the evening time, you would harvest the pollen. You put it in a little container, you harvest, and you keep it in a little container. In the morning, you would go and you would harvest the flowers that are open, and there are some indications of whether when it's ready.
Okay.
How do you distinguish?
Dip your brush in the pollen and go to the flowers that are ready, and you would be able to pollinate it then.
How would you distinguish the male from the female flowers?
The male from the female?
Yeah.
Andrew, would I be able to
share screen?
share my screen?
You can share the screen with me, but that would not necessarily be the proper way to do it, because we did not set up for that.
Not everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just give me 1 minute here.
Go ahead. Take your time. One thing we always do have on Real FM, we have time, and we give time to our listeners. We give time to our guests to ensure that all the information is passed on to the farmers, especially.
Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can how I can explain this to you. On the same, everybody kind of knows what a soursop fruit looks like, right? Soursop flower, sorry, what it looks like. It has those hard petals on the outside, and then in the middle of those hard petals, there's a little bump. The male part of the flower is the bud. Sorry, I'm trying to see how I can explain this. The male part of the flower is on the bottom part of that bump, and then the female part of the flower is on the top piece. Let me see if I could.
So the male part of the flower is at the bottom, you said?
Yes, the male part of it's like a little round piece with a next little top on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the two pieces are very close together. However, they don't mature at the same time. So the bottom piece, the piece that is most closely connected to the stalk of the flower, that piece is a male part. On the top of that is a next little bump that is smoother and of a lighter color than the bottom piece. That piece is the female part. So you would take the pollen from the male part, and you just have to take a little container and a brush, like a little paintbrush, or one of the paintbrushes that the kids would use at school, and you would just brush off the pollen from there in the evening times.
And can the pollen go ahead? Can the pollen stay longer than evening to morning, or you have to do all?
It can stay, but we don't really encourage that, because it will lose its vitality, and you don't really want to be going through that process of hand pollination of all these flowers, and then you're not sure if it's going to actually work. So what we encourage is that if you're going to pollinate in the morning, tomorrow morning, this evening you collect your pollen, and then in the morning you use it. But the flowers are always developing, so they don't all be ready at the same time. So most of the time you can get the pollen is there. Once the flowers have begun to open, you can collect the pollen and then do the pollination.
Are you going to be having classes, workshops, so as to train people in this?
Yes, that is exactly what we're planning. Because if you remember earlier, I said that we will be having those kind of farmer field school kind of things, where we'll be bringing farmers, because we can't do it on everybody's farm, because it's it's quite a lot, and the human resource that we have is quite limited. So what we will do is, when we're in an area, how we have it now, the extension division, we have divided, and that's how it's been for quite a while. We have divided the whole country into different
zones.
Districts. So each district we will go through, make sure we have at least one visit for a month. So every week we will go to a district, and in each district we will go to different areas and work with different farmers and invite the farmers from that area or from that district to one person's farm where everybody can learn.
Why is it that government, and this is where I could bang you on the head because you're an agronomist, and why is it that you have not encouraged government to say, get a plot of land somewhere? There's a lot of government land, or will be soon, in the Shambo area, a couple acres, and have what is a pilot project, we might say, where folks can come in. You can bring farmers from all over the island and say, this is how you should be dealing with your saucer. Why is it that you guys have not done that?
I understand that you will bang me on that, but it is something that we have encouraged. It is something that we have just not yet been able to do. We will try this time at the Grand Bras Estate, especially. We have a plot there that is already established. So we will try now to get the to do that plot, do exactly what you're saying there, do that plot there. We also will be working on the Marabou station, the Marabou propagation station, to have that sort of plot there. But initially, what we had planned to do, even before all these plans for Grand Bras and Marabou had come in, was to work with certain farmers, and those farmers have agreed to let us have their plots as demonstration plots. So they will follow everything, that all the technical advice that we would be given to them as to how to maintain their plots and how to do all those different all the different processes to ensure that they have good production and to have clean plants and to take care of the pest and disease problem and all of those things. So we have farmers who will be having demonstration plots. We will have plots at the Marabou station, and we will have plots at the Grand Bras Estate.
Now I understand.
So that is something that we're working on.
I understand that you're working on that, and I understand plot. Well, what I don't understand, if you're going to go into an estate like the Grand Bras Estate, where there's no specific project outside of what I'm hearing from you, and you have ton loads of space. So I'm wondering, why not focus on, if it's Grand Bras Estate, then it is Grand Bras Estate. Focus on that and have the different plots there where you bring the farmers in and show them different things, and even take it as far as the Grand Bras Estate becoming the propagation station for saucer only. So when you need saucer plants, you don't have to go to Marabou, and then the Marabou people don't have to be doing saucer, doing oranges, doing mangoes, doing this. The Grand Bras people are focused on saucer and saucer only. I would want to believe that might be a better thing.
Well, you see, the Grand Bras Estate is how the plans that we have for it now. It's not just going to be soursop. It has to be it's a wider plan than just soursop.
So are you saying? Hold on, Miss St. Louis?
While we may be able to have the demonstration plots there, how we look at the Marabou propagation station, it's not just for propagation. we are looking to the Mirabos facility as being one of the areas where you would have that type of activity that you were just saying, where you can have a premier facility where farmers can come and learn, and extension officers can come and learn, and you can do research and do different things, so that the Grandbrier Estate and the Mirabo propagation station, we will all have to work together in getting those things done. But it won't just be Grandbrier doing that.
See, it's
at least, I mean, now that you've brought it up, it's something that we can consider, but has not been considered just for soursop. No.
Okay, but I'm getting the feeling here that, as you said, because there are different things to be ruled out, and this is where we seem to have the problem. And yes, I could bang you on this one too. This is where we seem to have the problem, in that there are plans, but one gets a feeling that, because I'm seeing BJ here rolling his eyes, and he's one of the premier farmers in Grenada. There are plans, but their discussions aren't being held with the farmers or with the people of interest, so that something may come up. And because you did not have a dialogue with the farmer or with the person of interest, then it's not going to do so and energize anybody. They're just going to look at it and say, well, that is not how you should have done it. You should have done it differently. That's the impression I'm getting here.
I understand that, but as I said before, when we have the farmer field schools, those interactions will let people know, and as I said before, the fields will be demonstration plots. So, and as far as my experience, which is, I'm sure, not even a quarter of what the people who you have in the studio with you, my experience is that in order for farmers to buy into something, they have to actually see it working. So if we have a few, because everybody won't be able to go to the Grandbrier Estate, everybody won't be able to get to the Mirabo propagation station to go and see and to go and learn. So if we have these demonstration plots in the different districts, then the farmers can learn from those plots. They can see it working, and then they can know that, okay, this is something that I would like to try.
Here's what's said, Louis. Here's
the rationale behind having more than one area, but to have a few different plots that we can work with.
Here's a question, or here's a comment from a gentleman, and he says dialogue is being done. So he's confirming that dialogue is being done, but he has gone on to say it is being done with a selected few, and the majority is being left out. How do you respond to that?
I don't think it's a selected few. How we get in touch with our farmers, we have we dialogue with them most of the time through our extension services, and even when we have different different workshops and training sessions, and so we interact with the farmers. People even call in and they give ideas, and so it's not something that is happening for a select few people. So the decisions that we make are not necessarily just from what we think and what that select few people would think. We do dialogue quite frequently and quite widely with most of our farmers. Sometimes what happens is that and for different reasons, the suggestions of some people may not be taken into consideration, but they may not be acted on. And then there's people think that once they give a suggestion, you should do that. But a lot of the times we have, as officers, we have other things that we have to consider when we make decisions. And of course, the technical know-how is something that we we have, and we work with other people who are experts in the fields, so that it's not just a select few who are consulted with. We do have wide consultations.
The person is also saying then maybe we have a disconnect between the extension officers and the farmers.
That person may be correct. I won't be able to say yes or no with that.
Of course, from one public servant to another, I don't expect you to do that. I was just trying to see if you... Well, my final question for you this morning, because I think we've had quite an interesting, is, well, one, when next, and but I'll leave that one for Mina. I'll let Mina decide when next you come on. But
you can invite me too. You don't have to leave it to Mina.
No, that's Mina's responsibility. That's how we work.
You can invite me on anytime you're ready.
Okay, I hear you. No, the question is, how does, because we had 300 acres, right? In this big island, 300 acres of soursop, that's definitely not enough if we consider soursop to be our green gold, as they say. 300 acres definitely not enough. Does the government really have something that they're going to roll out which is going to encourage farmers beyond any shadow of a doubt in getting involved in soursop production? What is it? What are you guys going to do?
Well, actually, Andre, at this point, there is really nothing that anybody has to do to encourage farmers to get into soursop. Farmers realize the potential of the crop. They realize that this is something that is lucrative and something that they can get and be financially stable with. So they do that. We will continue to assist with not just assist, but we will continue to produce the quality planting materials. We will continue to give technical advice. We will also, as part of the whole soursop value chain development, what we're doing at this point is to try to put into place a governance structure for that soursop industry. As we know, soursop is a specified commodity, and as such, it should be governed by a board or an association or something to ensure that to ensure that the fruits that are exported are of the highest quality, though they have no pest and disease issues, and of course to ensure that the industry also pays back into itself and for its own development. So that value chain development is part of what we're working on right now. And of course, we also, as I said before, we're working with MNIB to begin again, because if we really look into the whole history of this sector, the MNIB was supposed to be the only entity that should have been exporting soursop. However, at this point, we have reached a point where we have many private exporters, and so what we consider MNIB's role is they can also export, but what we think their role really is, as the horse is already out of the barn, as you can, if you like that, you can say it like that. We think that they have a role in terms of the licensing and ensure that pack houses and everybody in that chain is working towards, everything that they're doing is going towards advancement of the sector, and not doing anything that will be to the detriment of the sector.
Ms. St. Louis,
that is where the ministry, the government is with that.
Ms. St. Louis,
sorry.
No, I was going to say, I'm saying to you, thank you so very much for the discussion this morning. And yes, I will invite you again, because I believe that we need to continue our soursop chat and to bring more information that is pertinent in relation to the higher production of the fruit, and of course that will mean more money is coming into Grenada.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, have a wonderful day, my girl.
Same to you. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
And bye to everyone listening.
All right, bye-bye. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. BJ and JD, they're still here. We're going to take a quick commercial break and come right back. Stay with us.
Cooperative Credit Union Limited wishes to inform the general public of the following change in Saturday operating hours at our St. George branch. The office, located at the Derek Sylvester Building on Lucas Street, will now be opened from 9 a.m. to 12 noon on Saturdays. The extension is in an effort to meet the needs of our members. Please be reminded that our operating hours are as follows: Mondays to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Saturdays in Grenville, from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. St. George, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the best place to save and borrow.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, inset screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Frontline workers, please consider the health and safety of those in your care and of your loved ones at home. Get the COVID-19 vaccine and remember, you matter. You hold the key to opening Grenada's doors. You can unlock life as we knew it. Help those who have questions get the right answers and understand why they need to be vaccinated. You are the gateway to life and livelihoods. Your decision is our best shot. Get vaxxed. It's our best shot. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Win more with the NLA's Daily Cash Fall. Every day with more plays and bigger prizes to be won. It's a 4-digit game with all the bet types you already know and much, much more. From 0000 to 9999. Choose your 4 numbers and place your bet from 11 different bet types. Choose from inline, 4 different mixes, first 3, last 3, and 4 different backup options too. Best of all, it starts at just $1, except for backups, which starts at $2. Win as much as $5,000 with a $1 inline bet and as much as $6,200 in a $2 backup bet. Imagine $50,000 for a winning $10 inline bet. There's definitely more to win with the Daily Cash 4. More plays, bigger prizes. Twice per day, Mondays to Saturdays. Must be 18 and over to participate. NLA, making your dreams come true while supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Treat yourself from head to toe with A1 hair, skin, and beauty products from Sarah's Hair and Beauty Supply Store, located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, close to the New Testament Church. Want to achieve that classy Instagram model look? Come visit us at Sarah's Beauty Salon. We offer expression, pre-stripped, and antibacterial braids, forelocks, Jericho, deep wave, yaki weave. This front wigs are also available, both synthetic and human hair. Of course, we offer a collection of extensions, Brazilian 100% human hair and Peruvian 100% virgin remedy. We provide our customers with the finest nail care products, eyelashes, do-rags, razors, shaving products, and weaving needles to keep you stylish and popping. Visit Sarah's Hair and Beauty Supply Store today, and remember, we treat our customers with the lowest prices nationwide and raging discounts store-wide. Sarah's Hair and Beauty Supply Store, where all your beauty wishes will most certainly be granted.
27 minutes nowadays after the 8 o'clock hour. Andre Donald with BJ and JD on a beautiful looking Thursday morning. We've just finished our conversation this morning with Ms. Lorraine St. Louis, Senior Agricultural Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, and we spoke about SARSUP. We will continue that narrative on SARSUP at a later date. But my guests, of course, they will have they probably have some thoughts on what just took place. JD, BJ?
Andre, if I have to say anything in relation to that, is that the acreage is not sufficient, and for the time we started, trying to develop that sector to where we are today, people should be ashamed of themselves.
How many acres of cane does Kaneko have planted right now?
Andre, 250 acres in what? In 18 months?
In 18 months.
And actually had to stop and say, hang on, you know something?
Too fast.
You people are progressing too fast.
Yeah.
You're going way ahead of expectation and, and what the factory can, cater for during the first year. You people are, so they have to stop us. Or else we probably have 500 acres already. Andre, how hard it is to plant 1,000 acres of salsa? Somebody need to tell me that.
And with salsa being as valuable as it is, 300 acres,
Andre, that should have been one farmer.
Yeah.
A farmer should have run Gambara Estate, a private farmer.
Yeah, and just plant
and plant 200 acres of salsa, 300 acres of salsa. If the land is, I don't know what quantity of lands we got there. But you have Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal Estate.
And those places are ideal for, those kind of crops. It's sort of a middle belt, so you don't have to, bother about much irrigation and stuff like that. They will grow fairly fast. And if you, look after them properly, within 24 months, you can start harvesting soursop in those places if you cultivate it properly. Andre, we no shatter ideas in this country, We no shatter technical knowledge, We shut off execution. We shut off actually doing the thing. What sense does it benefit a man to have all this technical knowledge in your head and nothing happening, Andre? Your technical knowledge and you're going to stay hungry, you're going to dead too,
The other one I want you to comment on, or maybe even JD to comment on here, has to do with having to go to a man's plot to observe what is happening and how, different techniques and what to do in relation to salsa. Two things I find there, BJ, and I didn't go into this with St. Louis because it probably would have derailed the conversation. One, bringing people into my field, I'm bringing diseases.
That's risky business.
That's risky business. Because at salsa, I will have other things planted, and it means that I have to get people to monitor so as to ensure that when BJ comes onto my farm, he stays with salsa. So it's going to be a cost to me. And then diseases. And two, BJ may not be as honest as he claims. So he comes and he observes what's happening at my plot, and 2 days later, 3 days later, he comes in the night.
Well, not just that, Andre. I had the ministry use my field as demonstration plot. I allowed them to do it for, because I'm a nationalist.
With salsa.
Yeah, with and other crops.
Okay.
And it's not something I particularly like. And it's not a practice that I'm encouraging farmers to follow.
To do, yeah.
Because, Andre, I've been to people's plot already as demonstration. And I would have to put on gong on me. And they would have to spray me. And I would have to put some plastic shoes over my boots and stuff like that. And they would have to make sure I sterilize before I walk into the people's plantation.
Yeah.
That's how serious people take their crop cultivation and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that we can have a little flexibility here and there, but the point I'm making, Andre, is that it is time. It is time, and I hope the Minister of Agriculture is listening to me.
That's your boy.
And
that's
the
your boy.
Senator also.
That's your boy too.
Yeah, that's cool. Andre, it's time we have demonstration plots, all right, of the different crops, all right. whereby, and I'm just talking about demonstration only, experimental plots too,
Yeah.
And all these things Miss St. Louis is talking about, which is, make whole heap of economic sense and agronomic sense, where you can, manually pollinate your source because that can be a problem. All right, and that will definitely help increase production. All right, and all these things can be demonstrated with a little clip, a little, documentary or whatever how they want to call it. And this can pass around to farmers in the time that we are living in now. We're living in a technological age. We're living in time when people does not have to visit each other to pass on information. What's about the news? And all me to see upon those kind of news is foolishness that we just show from time to time that doesn't make no sense. Just let some bad thing happen. You've seen it clip for the whole week. And you would have, something as important of, as pollinating soursop. You understand what I'm saying? And people will have those things, have the information, have the knowledge in the head and in the back pocket. And they're telling you, we have to call all farmers. You waste a whole day to go and watch something that can be demonstrated to you via, social media in 5 minutes. And what sense that make in the time Andre, the role of extension has changed. It is not what people think it is. It's not in the 1970s and 1960s where you have extension come and visit farmers and stuff like that. That outdated.
I got something for you. They should take out the concessions on the extension officers' vehicles and put it on social devices for them.
It's quite possible.
Put it on phones and tablets because that is what they're using and that is what they could use based on what you're saying.
Andre, that's what we need to use. A farmer should be able to log in, all right, on the Ministry of Agriculture website. They need to have a website, and you can see, type in source of pollination, and this whole clip supposed to come to you.
Come to you one time.
What it is that people and them sit down there doing, Andrew, you need to have a website, all the different sectors of government, where people can go in and find information readily like that, important information. For example, you want to say do Africa tomatoes. You should be able to go inside there and put in your information and see what it is costing you to do that, the production cost. So you could know if it's making economic sense or not. You can evaluate based on the size or the plot of land that you have.
And it should also tell you, BJ, if you're going to do the tomatoes, when is the best time to do it that will give you the
all
highest
those information,
value? All
Andre,
is supposed to be right there.
There. And people shouldn't be coming out and asking you X, Y, and Z. And those. And the world has passed that stage. We have to function more organized, more structured, more formidable, more sensible. If we continue to just follow and stuck in our old ways, we're not going to make serious progress. The people who are generally exorbitantly rich, Andre, are people who innovate, are people who set trend, trendsetters, If you're a follower, Andre, you're always picking up scrums, what people left behind,
Yeah.
You have to jump ahead and set the trend.
Set the trend. You make the path. Let others follow that
Exactly.
path.
And if you fail in the process, then hard luck.
Hard luck if you fail in
The
the
people
process.
who does nothing.
JD, you've gone to some demonstrations in your life as a farmer. Do they really make sense?
Sometimes they do, yeah, they do. You see, you get to see what other people are doing. As a matter of fact, I heard about one yesterday in our area. The guy from near to you there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and interestingly, I didn't. I heard a farmer told me about it. He was invited to come to that field trip that day, yesterday, and he said, "I'm not going. I don't have time to waste.
Okay.
I'm going, my God, I don't have time to waste." So that's what happens.
But it goes to what BJ is saying.
Yeah, well, right,
you do not waste a farmer's day because
a
a day
is a lot.
It's a lot. Send the information via social media. So instead of you watching a blue movie. You understand, BJ? You can
Yes,
pay attention to
Andre.
that.
Yeah, the world has changed,
The
and
world
the
has changed.
information is right at your fingertip. And,
Everybody.
the world has changed.
Let something bad happen, man. Everybody have it on their phone, flashing it left, right, and center.
But one of the things that that amazed me, when Vincent Lee spoke, is from another board, a board. I saw a board.
Yeah, that was like, oh no, another cartel?
Another board. I said, boy, another board again.
Andre put it in structures to get things operating properly. Should be welcomed.
Here's somebody saying the same mistake we made with the nutmeg and cocoa and bananas, we are now making the mistake with our salsa. Why aren't we exporting value-added products instead of raw material? Value-added products multiplies income, which is so
Very
correct.
much so.
Which is so correct.
Andre, the thing is that there are monies to be made from exporting soursop, whether it's be greened or value added. All right. The point I'm making is that we are too slow with regard to exploiting the market that is there, and you can tell how those people out there does behave. They will find loophole just now, some big lobbies or whatever, and next thing you hear they saying, not Grenada alone, it's Grenada and Mexico now. And next thing you know, you have no space for us there any longer.
No space.
Because we are like a dot in the ocean. You understand what I'm saying?
Because I was listening to Gonzalez about the devastation in St. Vincent, and one of the point he made is that the source of field are destroyed. So sooner or later, I mean, had that been going on, we would be left behind some way or the other. We'll be left behind again.
Well, St. Lucia is now, I think, yes, St. Lucia is making nutmeg oil. And they don't really grow nutmegs.
Exactly.
They bring nutmeg spray, I think.
Yeah, they're making nutmeg spray.
Yeah, they don't really grow nutmegs.
Nope.
We have a caller, let's take it. Good morning.
Morning, Andre. Morning.
Good morning. That voice is familiar.
Byron.
Byron Campbell, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good, man. I've been listening to you guys' conversation this morning, and I'd like to join the conversation.
Sure, no problem. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Well, good morning, Andre, and morning to your guests.
Yeah, but Byron, you need to turn that that device you're listening to. Turn it off. So now we're talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Great.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Mr. Campbell.
Your program this morning, and firstly, I just want to compliment you, Andre, and your for an excellent program. I've been tuning, and certainly your colleagues there, DJ. I mean, somebody. Your teacher, this is one farm I take very seriously. Congratulations, DJ, all the
Morning, thank you very much.
And I think Lauren this morning tried well, She's a young agronomist, new in the system, and she gave some good advice here and there, but clearly, that there's a long way for us to go in this industry. But Andre, I'm focused on you. I just thought your line of questioning and not interrogation, but your probing was excellent, this morning, and I learned a lot. A lot came out of it.
Wait until Byron Campbell is at the other end and I'm probing. Wait until that happens, and then
let's do it next week. But I want to make a comment as a salsa farmer myself. I have just over 5 acres, so I've been there for about maybe 15 years, a long time. So a lot I understand and a lot I don't understand. And I just want to make some comment in addition to what DJ has said, and I take all that on board in terms of the Praedia lacini. I think is a critical one, for this industry, particularly Southsop. Farmers suffer, and DJ, well, you know about that. I know about that. I mean, and the thieves come from far around. I mean, in the St. George's area, in the Mongdor area where I farm, we've had thieves coming all the way from Paradise, renting vehicles, and so they move around and they have a real
have a network
business going. I think, and there's a lot to be done there with the penalties and so forth, and how we deal with Praedia lacini. The other thing is, of course, and DJ made a point, why we are only at the level of production that we are now at, and you look at the whole agricultural sector, a big problem there is financing, and when we look at the numbers, in terms of all the money that was lent to industries for mortgages, for consumer items, vehicles, all the lending, only 1% just about went to agricultural sector, This is very small. And up to earlier this week, I was talking to an official at one of the banks, and he says, look, it's too risky. Well, but where is the development bank? Which, if it's a development bank, is moving to be a regular commercial bank. So agriculture needs special financing, given all the risk. And we heard DJ talking earlier about the issue about the insurance. It's a scam. I agree with him. This is what we experience. The other thing with South-Up is the agronomic practices. The ministry over the years have said expand, plant. But guess what? No support. Farmers just plant. The trees grow 20 feet tall, 30 feet tall. And we know this is not good for the production of South-Up. The whole issue of pruning and hand pollination and all those practices must be carried out, else your production and your disease and control, all these issues become significant. I will say that I have become quite an expert in pruning and hand pollination. I mean, it's not rocket science, but it has to be practiced. And 2 years ago, we had a Brazilian, or was it a Brazilian expert in South-Up? There was a 3 or 4 day workshop and field demonstration and so, which I attended, and I must say I learned a lot from that. In my village where I live, I go around and do practical demonstration, both hand pollination and pruning techniques, because that's fundamental to production, So I think a lot more extension could be in terms of the practical nature. And I agree with you guys making the point about technology, it is more efficient to use that way, and it's practical, and so this is clearly one area. One final comment I want to make on the South-Up and the added value. Now, for us, for Grenada in particular, it's more profitable not to do any added value with South-Up.
Why?
We get a much better price for the whole South-Up. The other thing is we can't compete with the South American countries, the Americas, with the production of added value South-Up. You see, they don't have the market that we have. They are not allowed to export into the United States, in particular, whole South-Up. So that is where they have huge, major companies dealing with the added value of South-Up. So we get premium. And this is why the comment BJ was saying that we have to protect this market, because imagine we're the only one. If we lose this, it's very difficult for us to compete in any international forum with added value South-Up products, So we had to keep the whole South-Up. That's what we want to go, and this is where we want to go. Just one comment on the question of the farm school, which Lorraine mentioned earlier on. Now, it's a technique that's been practiced a lot in Africa. It consists of groups of farmers who get together to study a particular topic and so on. So I think there are some instances where we can use it. But I agree with DJ that comment. Look, I am very reluctant to have kind of field trips on my farm, for several reasons. One you mentioned is the contamination point, and also a lot of people don't want to overexpose their farms, in terms of what can happen thereafter. But gentlemen, I just want to say you guys had an excellent program this morning.
Thank you very much, Brian.
And I mean that's the way to go. And Andre, invite us next week. We want to just a brief comment on SAP on the program. We have a number of things in agriculture, that opportunities for farmers, and I look forward to the opportunity to being on the program to explain some of that, and particularly the opportunities there for financing in particular, which is the big issue. That we can have a conversation on.
Well, I tell you what, Byron, consider yourself invited.
Okay.
We will send you the Zoom link.
Okay.
And I don't know if you'd want to have another party, but we'll send you the Zoom link.
Yes.
By Monday, Tuesday, you'll get the Zoom link in relation to that, and we can have our discussion. You can share it with the other one or two persons, and then we'll be able to have that discussion.
Because that's where I saw the Zoom link with Lorraine this morning. So this kind of publicity is excellent. People get to know about it.
Well, take care of yourself and God bless.
You guys and your other colleague, all the best. Have a good day and keep
Have
doing
a good
the
day.
work, man. Excellent.
Yeah,
Really
man.
appreciate you guys, man. Big
Take
up.
care.
Okay, great.
Yeah, man. Big up. Cheers. Bye.
Baron Campbell. Nice.
Yeah, Andre. Cool job.
But he is in agreement to what we say. He is in agreement.
Andre, I think the whole of Grenada is in agreement to what we are saying. As I keep telling you, we know what we need to get done. Whether or not we're prepared to do it is a different thing. And we don't have to blame no government here. We don't have to blame no ministry here. We have to blame a system, Andre. We need to get ourselves together and do this thing collectively. Are you telling me there isn't enough money lying around the place whereby if we want to collect and land or be given as a grant or whatever, I don't know, but you tell me there isn't enough money lying around that we can do 2,000 acres or so what's up?
Yeah, man, we should be able
Are
to
you
do it.
telling me, Andre, we have shipment basically sometimes twice or 3 times a week? Are you telling me that we cannot cultivate so what's up whereby farmers can basically grow it and have a sustainable crop, that they don't have to run left, right and center trying to cultivate 10, 15 different crops, none of which they're sure about?
We've got a caller. Good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello? Well, we seem to have lost that one.
Yeah, Andre, we could do this thing. We have the people, we have the farmers, all right, that are able. We have the extension officers, we have the support, we have enough water around the place. We could cultivate that crop if we want to. It's not a difficult. Let me tell you something about soursop, Andre. Soursop is a shy crop. Shy. Some girls like a boy, but they like to stay in a little corner and do
some
it.
boy like a girl.
And it's next year around.
Yeah.
It's the same with soursop,
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, it's not a social crop at all, It's a shy crop. If you see one tree by itself, it's all laden and bearing a lot. And you plant them together, you don't get the same effect. There are crops like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had that one tree at the back of my house. It took years before it started. And when I look at that tree, the amount of flowers I see on that tree, it's amazing, And another point, I think, that all this, talking about soursop, are we educating the population as to the value of the soursop itself? Are we consuming? We export, but are we taking care of our people as to the use soursop and the value of it?
Baron Campbell made a very interesting observation. Well, not observation, but he gave us a very, very important bit of information. Because we've been saying add value, and he's saying, look, our thing does not lie in adding value. What it lies in selling the raw soursop. However, I am still thinking here, BJ, that we could add value, not to what goes to North America. But we have soursop here that when there's this brown spot on it, but there's nothing wrong with the soursop actually. And those what you might call the rejects that can't go. I believe that we can use those, add value, and export it to our neighboring Trinidad, because they do a lot of things with soursop, and we can even use that, BG, to start getting more people locally to use soursop juice to that sort of thing. So we could still add value.
Andre, A lot of people seems to think that adding value means processing and packaging. No, that's not true. Let me give you an example. I have a neighbor who sends sauce up down to Trinidad. And the people in Trinidad say, hang on, you bring the sauce up for me and I still have to get it ripe because you're bringing it green or full or mature. And I have to get it ripe. Then I have to take off the skin on it. Then I have to pulp it. And then I have to put it in my refrigerator. So they say, hang on, we're paying you,
top dollar,
$2.50 a pound. Hang on. If you ripe the sauce up, if you pulp it, and if you freeze it and get it to me, I can pay you $5 per pound. You get a 50% increase. The lady bought her refrigerator, she deep fridge, she ripe the sauce up, she freeze them in these 5-gallon plastic buckets, and she get it done. And she price increase by 50%.
By 50%. No, by 100%.
100%, sorry. 100%. Andrew, she add value.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can add value and send it off to China. We may not be able to add value and send it to North America because based on what they prefer to have ours in the raw state.
That's okay.
Right, that's all right. But we have a lot of sauce up here that and even in Trinidad, you can't send the sauce up that has this kind of brown spot or you can't
you don't
that.
want to.
You don't want to do that. So these and others and all the sauce, any sauce up that's not going to North America, we should be adding value to it and sending it to the countries that are willing to accept our pulp.
Andrew, how about sauce of Kaneko, the stuff that they make? This is not adding value?
That's adding
value. How about giving
the
kids and them that in school rather than giving them this coloring stuff in this long plastic tubes or whatever they drink it from? This is not adding value.
And they say, you know what they'll say here, BJ. Well, the children don't like that, and I am forever believing and knowing that children and people learn what they live. If they don't have the sauce up, they don't have it. But if the sauce up alone they have, BJ, they are going to use it.
100 people acquire the taste for different foods. The first time I ate cantaloupe, I said I will never eat this thing in my life. And it took me 2 years before somebody said, BJ, try this thing, you have to get used to it. And no, I don't want no watermelon, I want cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe is the best. For me, cantaloupe is the best.
You understand?
You can sit down and really enjoy it. You have to acquire the taste. BJ, let me tell you something. I'll give you this one. This one will make you laugh. So, drinking, realize that, boy, when you go and thing and you think to drink, bar fly there and they just swarm in your drink. That was years ago. I changed and I stopped drink rum. I was drinking gin.
Oh, there we go.
Nobody
wants that. You're alone.
We alone drinking gin.
You acquire the taste.
Acquire the taste for gin and just drink gin so that you have yours. Nobody's bothered because nobody wants that.
Anja, as me smell alcohol or junk, and have a drink. So, sometimes I wet my lip with a little taste and they say, BJ, you don't acquire the taste. You need to take one again.
You need to take another. No, but seriously, you have to. Almost everything is an acquired taste. Almost every single thing that you do, it has to be an acquired taste. And I'm saying that we are not doing enough. We are concentrating on, okay, fine, yes, send the sauce up abroad, but we cannot send all simply because we cannot sell all. And the reason why we cannot sell all the sauce is because some are damaged from birth.
Yes, even for during transportation.
They're damaged and they can't make it. So those that are damaged and can't make it, let us acquire the value from them and don't just leave them in the corner to spoil. Because ordinarily, BJ, man no suck sauce up no more,
Nope. No.
You
have to get it in a different form. It's snow ice or something like that. Ice cream or something like that.
I mean, I wonder if the guys know that the guys who drink in the rivers and them thing this. So I wonder if they know that sauce up in its when you pulp it and you make a juice with it without adding any sugar.
Mm-hmm.
It might make a good chaser. I'm not saying it does, but it might
Andre,
make a
not
good
just
chaser.
you see, Andre, the thing about soursop, it's not a regular beverage. It's not just an ordinary thing.
Yeah.
Soursop is a health food. If soursop didn't have the effect that people claiming that it have, no way in the US they paying those kind of money for it.
Right.
No way, Andre. No way it finding that kind of price in the US market. This thing has beneficial effect. You don't understand what I'm saying? Advantages for people. And health wise, people knows that, and I heard about that since in the 70s. Andre, some nurse would have sent something to me in relation to that, and I thought she was just joking. And she said, BJ, it's not Noonie alone, it's soursop too. And there we go. A few years later, all of a sudden, we cannot produce enough for the US market. How much people in the US? 300 and something million or whatever?
Yeah.
Andre, what's wrong with you? 4 hours flight, just around the corner there. And we get an opportunity, a window, whereby we can grow a hardy crop, not a crop that just die easy. In fact, sometimes the more you make the tree see some trouble, the probably more it produces.
The other thing though to BJ, and that's going to be my final comment this morning on this, is simply this. I couldn't understand for the life of me, why is it that the Ministry of Agriculture was so very happy, or sounds so very happy, that marketing board is in on this. Unless there's a whole change at marketing board, I don't see that as being something that marketing board can use to bring us benefits. They've failed us in everything that they've done.
Andre, marketing board were the one that started exporting soursop first,
I know.
as a body. And now you find that there are 4 or 5 exporters that basically, supersede, they outlive marketing board, Andre, marketing board is still paying $2.50 for soursop, and I'm getting like $5 for the last 4 or 5 years,
From other people.
From other people. If I were depending on marketing board to support me in that venture, what do you think was going to happen? Andre, no hard feeling, and no disrespect, That place needs to be rearranged.
There's a new manager we might bring in one morning. BJ, JD, thank you so very much, guys. Have a wonderful day.
You take care and have a good day.
Hey, next week, guys, remember we have in Byron Campbell next week. God's will.
Take care.
Take care. Peace.
Good. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
Welcome to the latest news update as produced by the Northern News Network. Details when we get back.